Shalom. I would like to start off by giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to my elders and apostles at Great Millstone. Peace, safety, much love, and blessing to the Akim across the four corners of the earth that are pushing out this truth and sincerity and putting their life on the line to do so. To you, brothers, I want to say Shalom. In this lesson, I'm going to go into the overall consensus of the American people with the self-quarantine being a few weeks in. Now people are starting to feel the effects, man, because they're not able to go out and do their normal folly and wickedness that they're used to getting into at their will. Now they have to, the certain states within the United States have set guidelines and stay-at-home orders. So these people are bugging out, all right? They're losing their mind. You know, they can't take it at this point. And if they're bugging out now, when everything is still pretty much intact, as far as being able to come and go as you please, because the stipulations are really light at this point, if you really look at it, in America, as opposed to these other countries where they have adopted so-called draconian laws or the draconian way of doing things. So in this lesson, I'm going to get this article from CNN.com, and it basically goes into how this comedian Ellen DeGeneres made a comment, and she's catching backlash for it. This article is entitled "Ellen DeGeneres Sparks Backlash After Joking That Self-Quarantine is Like Being in Jail." Now, that's the overall feeling of majority of the people here in America, because they're not used to it. They've never been in a state of being uncomfortable for this long. All right, especially those that are used to everyday life being going as they please. Now, being in jail, those that have been in isolation, on death row and things of that nature, you know, this wouldn't be anything to them because they're used to being uncomfortable and used to having as less human contact as possible. But the everyday people in society, so-called freedom, is being restricted. They're feeling the effects. All right. It says one of Ellen DeGeneres' jokes backfire, and she wasn't joking. All right, that's really how she feels, and that's the overall consensus of the masses over here in America. You know, they feel like being at home is a waste. All right, no matter of the dangers that the government is claiming that are on the outside, they rather go play Russian roulette and take their chances because they miss the mirth and the laughter that they so desperately need over here in America. And now that it's stripped away from them, you know, that it's hitting them hard. It says one of Ellen DeGeneres' jokes backfired this week after some people called her out for comparing self-quarantine during the coronavirus pandemic to being in jail, quote unquote. It says the popular host, who like many TV hosts have made her show virtual and stay-at-home orders, said the comment while broadcasting to viewers from her home on Monday. All right. So a lot of these people are holding on to the point where they're doing viral shows, they're doing viral concerts, TikToks, all over social media, just trying to have something to where they won't bug out. But if this lockdown gets worse or it continues on past this point, a lot of Americans are not going to make it. And it's not going to be the government that kills them. They just going to check out on their own, man, due to boredom, okay? Due to not being able to get out and go to the club, not being able to go to the bar and have a drink, not being able to throw kickbacks at their homes in large groups, all right? Just that alone is going to have a lot of people bug out, you know, and damn kick the bucket. This is Proverbs. The first scripture I'm going to grab is in the book of Proverbs, chapter 14, start at verse 13. It says, even in laughter, the heart is sorrowful, and at the end of that mirth is heaviness. Now, they have all these apps and TikToks and virtual concerts, to have laughter on the outside, but in their hearts, man, when that camera goes off or they close that phone for the night, man, they're sorrowful. All right. Or when that routine of just being on social media, staying at home, reading, watching Netflix or whatever the case may be gets boring to them, they go back in the state of being sorrowful, man, and the cycle repeats itself. Proverbs 14:13, even in laughter, the heart is sorrowful, and the end of that mirth is heaviness. Okay. And that's just what it is. They're trying to keep up a facade that they're handling quarantine well, but in the backdrop, it's very heavy to them. It's sorrowful. Just like Ellen DeGeneres said, man, they feel like they're in jail. But to those of us that have been quote unquote self-quarantined anyway, we've turned our back on the world, so to speak, and only deal within the fold of those that are in the truth, man. We've already isolated ourselves from the masses of the people. We're used to being homebodies and cooking and reading and studying and watching videos. So this transition isn't that hard for us, but the everyday American it's a difficult time for them. Continuing on in the article, it says, one thing that I've learned from being in, this is Ellen DeGeneres, this is what she said on quote. It says, one thing that I've learned from being in quarantine is that this is like being in jail. It is what it is, she said. It's mostly because I've been wearing the same clothes for 10 days and everyone in here is gay. All right. And the reason she's wearing clothes for 10 days, I have no idea. Still doesn't give you a reason not to wash your ass, man, while you still have running water and hot water, because it may come a time when that ceases as well. So, hey, man, you better take a goddamn bath while you still can. Continuing on in the article, it says the video, which as of Wednesday afternoon was listed as unavailable on YouTube, was deemed tone deaf by some viewers who responded to the episode in the comment section of the platform. I feel bad for the kids at home. This is another quote. She says, I feel bad for the kids at home, all the college students, all the parents. Now, the kids, they don't know what the hell going on. They just know that they're not in school. That alone, the kids are doing better than the adults. Okay, they don't have a problem with being at home. They rather be. I know my speaking personally, my seeds, they've enjoyed being at home. I've spent the most time with them now than I have since they've really been born. Really, that's a positive, because the scriptures tell you, roughly paraphrasing, a man having a joy of his kids, all right, is good in the sight of the eyes of the Lord. Roughly paraphrasing, those that are able to enjoy the kids. So continuing on, it says, I feel bad for the kids at home, all the college students, all the parents. DeGeneres went on to say, I feel bad for a lot of people, but I think that a lot of people out there need words of encouragement, and that's what I want to do. Now, the blunt force of the impact on her end as far as the coronavirus is a little lighter than everyday peon that don't have $20-$30 in their bank account, or that are living paycheck to paycheck. Now, she can go online and joke about these certain things, but there are certain people, man, that don't know where the next meal is going to come, how they're going to pay their bills, because they've been laid off. Now, unemployment in America is at an all-time high as it's ever been, even, higher than the 1920s, man, the Great Depression era. All right. So she can joke around about things like this, but this is not a game to the masses of the people. All right, it do feel like they're in jail. You know, they tired of their kids being at home. They want to ship them off to goddamn school. Okay, because they don't really know how to be parents because the school is raising them. All right. This is the book of Isaiah in the second chapter. It says, "And the loftiness of man shall be bowed down, and the haughtiness of men shall be made low, and the Lord alone shall be exalted in that day." Now that's what you're saying. All right, the loftiness of these people are being bowed down, and the haughtiness is being made low. You know, these people are on the even playing field at this point. And at this point, only thing that can come out of this good is the Lord showing his might through his men and being exalted in these days, man. And that's why we continue to do our lessons and push these videos out. All right, because we want the Lord to lift up a standard in our days, and in our days of trouble. And we want to eat in the day of Jacob's trouble. As the scriptures say, the Lord's servant shall eat, you know, roughly paraphrasing. So those are the type of things our minds are geared towards. For now, I'm going to go to the book of Ecclesiastes, the second chapter. It says, "I said in my heart, go to now, I will prove thee with mirth. Therefore enjoy pleasure, and behold, this is also vanity." So all of the things that Americans were able to do before this lockdown and the COVID-19 ruined their fucking life, it was all vanity, man. Because what do you have now? After all the mirth has cleared, all the joy and pleasure is coming to a minimum, what do you have, man? Depression. You depressed as hell. You don't know when these sanctions will be lifted, and in these mind, you know, God forbids it goes on past this, they not gonna make it, man. All right, it's gonna be hell out here for them. Verse 2: I said of laughter, it is mad, and of mirth, what doeth it? Nothing right now, man. TikTok getting old. Goddamn, flipping the switch, like Drake says, he's getting old. Doing viral concerts, getting old. Cooking at the house, getting old. Ordering delivery, getting old. You know, these people want to go out and have drinks, man, and party and bullshit. All right, even like the time in the days of Noah, they did that all the way up until the flood came, and their ass was overtaken. All right. Got one more scripture. I'm gonna close out on this. Book of James, the 4th chapter, and starting at verse 8. It says, "And this is what the people not gonna do, man. If they had this, if they just did what it says here in James 4 and 8, you know, they would be okay. But hey, they've been lulled to sleep by Esau with these gifts." It says, "Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart." Now these gifts and goodies and freedom to move around has totally destroyed these people's hearts. Now these other countries like China and North Korea, South Korea, Japan, and all of these other nations that have set in place so-called draconian laws, it wasn't a big transition for those people. All right, because they know their government ain't shit. They know their government don't have their best interests at heart. They know their government will throw their ass in jail or gun them down. Oh, like that leader in one country, I forget who it was. He was like, if motherfuckers come out their house, hey, gun them down. That's how direly serious it is. Now they can't do that over here in America, because if they do, you know, these people are so entitled, it'll be a total fucking uproar. Okay. If let President Trump tomorrow come out and say, if anybody, you catch anybody outside, I want them shot dead. All right, man, this place bug the hell out and turn up, man. Continuing on in the scriptures, James 4 and 8, Draw nigh to the Most High, and he will draw nigh to you. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners, and purify your hearts, ye double-minded. Be afflicted and mourn and weep. Let your laughter be turned to mourning and your joy to heaviness. And that's what you're saying now, but these people are not embracing that. They look at this as being like jail shit. Ellen DeGeneres said it. Verse 10, it says, humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord, and he shall lift you up. Amen. And Lord willing, we continue to be humble. Us here that are doing the things that are necessary for the Lord to lift us up. And we've been practicing the art of humility. Okay. So, man, hey, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Chakodash. Shalom.